Hey, Gutfoxx here. So, as you can see on the screen, it says 430 for a roster update, player first upgrades and downgrades for player attributes. A lot of you people were like, hey, yeah, I said you people. I don't know why, but a lot of you will be like, what does that mean? Upgrades and downgrades for player attributes? Who gets upgraded? Who gets downgraded? I know there's a lot of beginners out there. I'm going to go through who the guys I think are going to get upgraded along with, showing what it is. So let's go into Diamond Dynasty. What does it mean when you hear those player upgrades? Basically, in the marketplace, in the live series only. The reason this is a live series, the current day players, is because it's alive. So these guys can go up and down on their attributes depending how good of a year they are. Now, Trout's obviously killing the ball, but if he goes up, will his price go up? Maybe a little bit, but he's already the gatekeeper, the most expensive live series card in the game. I think the most expensive card in the game by a distance. And so, if he goes up, whatever, right? He should go up. This is Mike Trout, one of the greatest ball players of all time. But he's not great for investments because with investments, cards that hit certain thresholds go up to a certain level. Do you see how all these gold cards are all 1,000 stubs minimum? So what does that mean? Every single gold card can quick sell for 1,000 stubs. So what people do when these attributes happen, when silvers go to golds, you can make coins. Like say Zach Gallen goes to a gold. You buy him for 800 stubs. You're gonna quick sell him for 1,000. Boom, 200 stubs profit. Now you can do that with a lot of different guys because a lot of guys will get upgrades and downgrades through the year as they're playing good, as they're playing bad. And you can basically make a ton of stubs, and people have made millions of stubs this way through investments. So you're like, okay, that's all good and whatnot. What about golds to diamonds? Well, if you go with an 84 overall and say George Springer gets upgraded to a diamond, the minimum the diamonds quick sell for is 5K. You see a lot of these diamonds are at 12K right now, 9K for Nola. But below that, you'll see you'll see below 5. But that's basically how we're making stubs and investing in cards and hoping they get upgrades. Obviously, there's other ways investing in or getting stubs by flipping cards and stuff, but this video is all about investments. So Friday the 30th, there will be upgrades and downgrades, and who is likely to be upgraded and downgraded? I made a list. Isn't that great? Now, stuff I put like Buxton, I put at the top of the list, and you gotta buy cards based on how they're going for. Like everybody loves Trey Turner right now, but if Trey Turner goes up to a diamond, you're not getting anything because he's already 7,300 stubs that you can do a buy order for. So if he's 7,300 now, if he goes diamond, nothing happens to Trey Turner. I think people like this card because he's fast, he's got good contact, very good at a very one of the weaker positions in the game. So that doesn't really do anything for you. Even though you can quote unquote invest in him, their price will not go up if they go diamond because it's already above the diamond value. The same thing with Buxton. I wrote Buxton on the list because he's having a heck of a spring so far, at least first month or so, but he's already right there, right? So a lot of you are like, well, when's the best time to buy? The best time to buy a lot of these cards that you're investing in are the Fridays these happen, but their attributes actually don't go up, right? They don't go up to the next level because a lot of people will sell off their stock if they didn't get upgraded. Like say a lot of people invest in Baez, okay? He's having a good spring with power and whatnot. So they're like, okay, yeah, I want Baez, but say Baez only goes up to an 84 overall, and you're like, oh no, well, I want to get out of my investment. I want to get my stubs now. It didn't work clearly. Now, if you buy at that point, whenever he's panic selling right there, you can get a pretty good price if you still have faith and that he's going to get another +1 maybe down the road. Because sometimes they increase them incrementally, so they don't all do it at once to a current performance. Because they basically take the last 3 years of performance and it kind of weight it into the current card and how their overall is at the moment. So we'll see how aggressive they are with upgrades and downgrades this year. But going through the list, my next one was Justin Turner. I don't know if I'm gonna go through them all one by one, but I made a good list here so that you can kind of see in your screen. And I put things by like guys that are 67 overall. It's going for 320. The thing with low end cards here, when I go all the way down to those 67 overalls, they're so far away from gold. You know what I mean? So even though you can see which ones the market does believe are a little bit more expensive, a little bit better chance of going up in overall because they're pricier the ones around them. So you kind of point that out. What does the market think's going to go up? The market thinks Buxton's going to go up because he's so expensive. So you see these ones, and then you're okay, 67, 68 overall right here. Norris, they're so far away from 80 overall. It's going to be a while before they get there because they have a lot of things to overcome. Now, it might take, a couple months, but, if you do invest in a card now, say a guy, Melanson, I think he's leading the league in saves, maybe he ends up going gold down the road if he keeps his performance up. But the thing is, has to keep that performance up. He has to keep it up for a while. There's always the risk of people getting injured. I know injuries have really messed over investors in the past, and because once they get injured, boom, their stats are basically stuck there. Like Tommy Conley this year is out for the year, but he's stuck at 79 overall, so he's not going to go up. So you can look at these guys. These got more long shots, but long shots are not bad if you're planning on playing this game through the summer, because eventually, if they do keep up their current level of production, even though they're far away, totally they could make it, right? So I got Mullins down here, who's having a fantastic time, but 67 overall. You got to pay 335 for him. And it's kind of a tough sell that, wait and to potentially triple your stubs when maybe you can do that same thing on cards that are closer to the gold threshold of 80 overall. So you want to maybe look at 79 overalls. Guys that are close here, they only need to bump it 1 or 2 that are off to a hot start that maybe they'll just give them that bump. Corbin Burns is right here. It's oh yeah, Corbin Burns is doing phenomenal so far this year. But the problem with Corbin Burns is that he's 3,000 stubs, and people are kind of pricing him in like he's going to go diamond right here, and he's at 79. So same thing with Ohtani. Ohtani's at 3,200. People are basically pricing him in that he's going to go diamond. Now, if you want to invest in Ohtani, now is not the time to invest in Ohtani. The time to invest in Ohtani is maybe Friday or maybe a Friday after that or so. And so even though he's going up well, because people will sell off, they're all right, my investment came in, but they're going to sell him for lower than 3,200. You're going to watch on Friday, his price is going to go down. Maybe, I've been wrong before. This won't be the first time, but I would expect on Friday, even if Ohtani gets upgraded to gold, 80, 81 or whatever he goes to, I still expect his price to go down because people are all right, sweet, my investment came home, I'm selling off. So it's really you wanna kind of sell on hype. Right now, Ohtani's really hyped, and then buy on the news sometimes. Sometimes the news rockets this price, you can't buy on it, but generally selling on hype is over the long run more profitable. But of course, every case to case is an exception at times. So just let you guys know that. All right, going through the rest of the list. Who else here on my list? Buster Posey's going for 810. He's going wow. He took last year off, but he's back with a vengeance. I can maybe go to the stat sheet and kind of show you their stats. I don't know if that'd be very interesting for you guys though, for attributes. But Posey is only a couple of strokes away from 80, right? He's a 78 overall, and his attributes right now, he's hitting 351, 667 slugging. Obviously, this is going to regress. I mean, he's BABIPing 357, so he's a little lucky so far. But overall, his stats are up. He's a good defensive catcher, slightly above average, it looks like. But he has a very good offensive profile so far this year. So when you look at Posey, even though he's expensive, let's see if I can't find him. I'll filter by catchers here. So even though he's 800 stubs, if you buy him, you kind of expect somebody with 63 contact, 59 contact, and low end power to get a little bit of a boost, and there's a potential profit there of 200 stubs. Now, is that a very explosive profit? No, but it is profit nonetheless. But again, regardless, I just want to let you guys know this is all a risk too, right? Every single investment you make is a guaranteed risk. So some of these things might not happen, but generally that's why I think overall, if you spread out and invest in a bunch of different players, you're going to have a good time because eventually some of them will hit. So if you diversify your bonds, and I wrote Jazz here because Jazz is getting a little lucky. He's a little expensive too at a 65 overall. So that's why I put Risky next to these low end guys. I should probably put it next to Trevor Rogers too, Risky. I just didn't for the guys that are in 60s. So diversify yourself through a lot of these different cards. And I think you're going to do a little bit better on the end, right? Overall, a lot of these guys are doing really well in the K per nines, which kind of put them there. Dylan Bundy is only a couple away from gold. And I looked at his strikeout rates, pretty decent right now. I do believe over 10 per. So his K per 9 is 65 in this game. And basically you got to know why they upgrade each card, right? K per 9. So Dylan Bundy's K per 9 is at 10 right now. His walks are also pretty low. So his potential, he could go up just because his K per 9 and walks per 9 could go up themselves. So that's why I think Dylan Bundy, I might just grab a couple of him here on stream, and we'll see if he can't get a little bit of boost here. But overall, let me know, are you guys invested in anybody? Obviously, you guys probably don't want to share with random strangers on the internet that are going to take your investments away from you. But there it is. Like we're buying them pretty fast, and obviously you got to put time in to this thing in order to buy these things too. 4-4 market moves super quick this year, so it's pretty nice. Let's get ourselves, what do we got? 2 more for now. But that's just one. But obviously what I'm doing, I just picked one out random of my list, 76. So some of them you'll have to wait longer than others, but that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This investment tips. But there I went through the list. But guys like I talked about, Woodruff is he's a gold, but Willie Gold Diamond, I don't know. Burns I talked about, kind of expensive, but you can kind of see who the market really loves right now. Hosmer might be okay too. People are pretty high on him, and he's close to gold. Grissom, same thing. Same with Hoskins. They're very close to that 1,000 stub barrier as it is. So, is it worth it to invest in them? That's your choice. All right, thanks for watching. Call to action. I will.